So we're getting ready to make some compost tea. We have rabbit poop, worm poop, a very highly diluted nettle tea, EM, effector microorganisms, 2 buckets of rainwater, because you don't want to be using chlorinated water, a large garbage can that we'll be brewing in, and Brad's about to bring out the pump, which we will use to aerate the water with the compost in it for at least 48 hours, and it'll increase the microbial bacteria, the good stuff, the aerobic critters that help feed our plants. We're going to be putting all of our compost into these nylons so that it'll be easier to use in a sprayer if we were going to use a sprayer to spray the compost tea onto our plants. So we also have Brad's perfect compost, and he has brought out the bubbler, which is a really strong pond aerator that we use to aerate our compost tea.
What do you think?
So Brad's gonna
do both these? Yeah?
I think so, yeah. We'll make a big batch. Use it for school garden, our gardens, me garden.
But Leah, do you think one pair? I don't know if I've got another pair. I had to take these out of my drawer this morning. But,
Brad, I don't think you're going to be wearing those anytime soon.
Yeah. Do you think one pair will be enough for for like 8?
Oh, yeah.
8 gallons, 9 gallons? One pair of nylons for...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I did sit this water out.
So it's not dechlorinated.
Dechlorinated.
Right. Putting brick down in there so that just to weigh down the bubbler.
Let's just plug it in and see if that's going to do the trick.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Because that will determine whether we need 2 bricks. Oh yeah, I think that'll work, huh?
That'd be great. When you say microbes, you mean protozoa, fungi.
Yeah, well, it's all of the aerobic, and that's why you're aerating, because it's the aerobic that we want. So Brad's filling up the nylons. He's got some bunny poop there.
Sweet.
Bunny poop and pee. And it's mixed in with a little bit of worm poop that I grabbed out of the composter on my way. Just to really what we always say, and Connie always says, is the more diverse the manures and fertilizers, the better, because all of them do different things. So we're gonna really load it up today with some good stuff.
So what's the deal? Is it the deal that you have microbes that different ones eat? Is there a food chain in the microbes?
Yeah, well, the microbes...
And they eat each other and excrete and...
Yeah, it's the excretion, but also some of the microbes also are like, how do you say it?
I don't know.
They help to let the plant to be able to uptake the nutrients.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And it's the same with the... Is
that like mycorrhizae?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's the same as mycorrhizae. Yeah, so mycorrhizae does it really well. It mines the soil and then it feeds the plant as well. So I think I'm going to have to read up on this and get it straight.
You know what's cool about this? One thing I did read about the compost tea is you can spray it.
Yes.
On the leaves and the foliage.
Yeah, as long as it's super diluted.
Yes.
Super.
Yeah.
And not during the sunny part of the day.
Yeah.
So this is his compost. Very rich. Oh, he's going to eat it? No.
Yeah.
We're going to load it up with some of his compost. We're getting that diversity again. Because Brad uses a lot of leaf mold and seaweeds, leaves, lots of vegetables. Different people around the neighborhood bring me buckets of vegetable scrap, coffee grounds, eggshells. So yeah, so it's a very different mix than what I've put in.
Do you think I should use that whole thing?
I think just a few scoops is good. Yeah, that's probably good. And then I brewed some nettle tea for myself, and then I did another brew for the plants. So it's not as strong, but it's still got some of the yummy stuff.
Okay, do you see, Leah, do you think
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
and that would be fine?
Yeah, that's totally great.
Okay, so I'll just
And then so you're gonna tie it off?
tie that off, I think. Okay.
Yeah. So that the
Do you think Susan will want these back? Honey! Never mind.
Oh dear.
Have a look at your unders.
You gonna want those back?
Oh, I think I'll pass. Thanks.
So we're dropping them in.
And what do we got here?
So this is EM, so we can put a, and it's just past its best before.
Okay.
So I think it
how
should be
much?
okay.
How
I
much?
would probably put a
cap?
good dump in,
Like,
because yeah, even a little bit more than that. Why not? Sure.
an EM,
Effective
microbes.
microbes, and it's, so we're really trying to multiply that. And then if you want to throw the nettle tea in,
All of it?
yeah, just throw it all in. Unless you want to use some just directly on your plants now.
And you've made this, how do you make this tea?
So normally with nettle tea, I will just get nettles, put it in a pot, boil, let them sit in the water for a little bit, and then strain it and drink it myself.
Really?
But what I did this time, because I took that nettle tea and I drank it myself, is I just did another brew with the same leaves, and then so it's diluted already, so it's fine. Yeah.
This is a benefit for plants. Why? Does it have
Nettle is
trace minerals?
I think it's trace minerals, but I think it also strengthens the plant cells. I'll have to look it up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go, eh? Plug it in.
Ready to plug it in. Let's
And
see it
what
bubble.
do you think? 48 hours, 72 hours?
48 minimum, I'd
48,
say.
yeah.
It should be really good.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that go. Woo!
Yeah, and I use the bigger vessel so it doesn't splash out.
Yeah, great. So we'll let that bubble. So in 48 hours, Brad will turn the bubbler off, and then this liquid can be diluted to spray on your plants, not during a sunny period, like in early morning or late evening, or right into the soil drench, right into the soil. Hello, we're back again, and I got my aerated compost tea from Brad, Mr. D, and now I'm going to show you how we apply it to the plants. So first thing is we have to get our rainwater. So I'm going to go over to my rainwater catchment and get that now. So we filled up the rainwater like pretty much a little over halfway because we're going to highly dilute the compost tea. So we'll do that now. So I'm going to put the compost tea in, and I like to add other little treats for our plants as well. So I'm going to put the compost tea in. I'm also going to put just a tiny bit of this kelp fertilizer, liquid kelp fertilizer. You can actually make your own, and maybe we'll do a video about that one day. But I'm just going to really just put like just a little touch in there. I'm going to put the lid on, the sprayer lid. And normally if it was in the evening or very, very early morning, I might spray this on the leaves of the plants. It might even dilute it just a tiny bit more even. But today I'm just going to take this, and it is a dull day, so it should be okay. And we can spray like into the soil. All those microbes are going to go into the soil and feed the plants. And we'll do a lot of our veggies, the ones that overwintered, like the celery, could really use a boost right now. The celery here, this broccoli, the walking onions, and then I'm also going to do my newly planted beds as well. Give them a little boost.
Are you putting that solution on seedlings, or are you putting them on seeds?
It's not mostly for because the seeds don't really need any nutrients, so it's the plants that want the nutrients, but it's the soil that we're actually feeding here. So we're creating a good soil food web. That's something to look up online. Soil food web. Elaine Ingram is the one who taught us all about that, and she's just a remarkable amount. She has a remarkable amount of information about it, about the amazing community of microorganisms that are in our soil that we're just starting to learn about. So it's something to look up.
Can I ask you what kind of a watering tool is that? And do we need that type of a tool to do this?
Well, if you're going to spray right on your plants, it's nice to have that really fine mist. So you can see here how nice and fine that is. So you're not going to be trampling your seedlings. You're just going to be giving that fine mist of good nutrients to the plant. And actually feeding your plants, foliar feeding your plants, which is what it's called when you spray the plant leaves, is really good for winter gardens, especially because when the soil gets too cold, the plant can't uptake the nutrients from the soil, but they do absorb it through the plant leaves, which is something else that was just recently we learned about too. So that's a really neat way to feed your plants in the wintertime.
Do you have an alternative idea? Because many of us may not be able to get this type of watering can.
Oh, so if we're gonna do, we can also take your compost tea. I have my watering cans always full of my rainwater because we're about to get some rain. So I thought, well, I'll empty my rainwater catchment as much as possible. And you can actually do a soil drench. So you can add quite a bit more of the compost tea when you're doing that.
Can I ask, would you also put that over here that you were using, this in it as well?
The kelp?
Yes.
Oh, for sure, yeah. For soil drenching, for sure.
Okay.
So then you're just drenching the soil and providing that nutrients to the plants that way. And again, if they get on the plant leaves, we've diluted it enough that it's going to be fine.
Could you put a little recipe for making the tea for us?
Oh, for sure I can. Yeah, I'll do that for sure.
And how often would we water with the tea, say for new seedlings that we just planted?
So new seedlings, you know, that's what ideally you want your seeds to grow really quickly, or your seedlings to grow really quickly, because that's going to be the healthiest plant. So if you give it the best chance initially when they're young, that's the best thing, and you avoid this happening, which we'll talk about in another video, the bolting. If you grow your seedlings really well. So yes, you can use the compost tea every time you water, or every time you're out here fertilizing. But really only every few weeks would do, you know, and I'm always adding mulch, like worm casings or, you know, compost. I'm always adding to my soil and building it up, adding straw and mulch to my beds, so it's constantly being fed. So I figure if I kind of do all of these things like mulching and adding compost and compost teas, that you're giving your plants the best chance. The nice thing about the compost tea though is that it's readily available right away. The plants can take it up because it's in a liquid form. So it's like a little, it's like a really nutritional drink that we would drink, like a smoothie full of probiotics and all kinds of yummy stuff that we would drink. It's the same for the plants. They're getting that nutrients right away because it's in liquid form.
Well, thank you so much. This has been quite informative. I have so many more questions that I want to ask you, but I'll save them for a later date. Is there a place where people can contact you to ask questions?
Yes, so we have a Facebook page. We have a website, and we have Instagram, so at Tofino Local Food. TofinoCommunityFoodInitiative.com. You can email me directly, leah@TofinoCommunityFoodInitiative.com, or send us a message on Facebook if you have questions and ideas for videos in the future.
Well, thank you so much, Tofino Community Food Initiative, and happy Earth Day.
Yay! And that was compost tea making with Mr. D. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to share with your friends as well. Check us out on Instagram at Tofino Local Food, Facebook, and our website. Thanks for watching.